several deep, purposeful breaths. Doing a double or a triple breath, whatever serves to oxygenate and relax you, the highest and best purpose for your presence here. Taking a moment to be in gratitude that you came today to invest in another step towards developing your own higher consciousness, sense of peace, gratitude, and centered connectedness. Feeling the energy expand, starting the center of your heart, expanding out well beyond your physical body, going inside and outside, continuing beyond into your emotional bodies, spiritual bodies, etheric bodies, mental bodies expanding. And feel your energy expanding 10, 15, and 20 feet beyond the appeared confines of your physical body, going out 50 feet now. Imagine your energy stretching out a 360-degree circumference beyond your body. This is the reaches of your true feeling energy coming in through your crown chakra. Beautiful, dancing, golden light shower. Sense it coming all the way through your body, going all the way down through your chakra, starting with the crown, going all the way through. As it gets to the base, imagine that light continuing down through your legs, out the bottom of your feet, going deep into Mother Earth, going all the way deep, finding the center of Gaia. As you feel your energy connecting to the center of Gaia, bring it back up through your feet, through your legs, through your base chakra, all the way up and back out through your crown chakra. And acknowledge in this moment your awareness of your continued connection to earth and ether. You are the yin and the yang. You are the bridge that holds the bond between heaven and earth. You are a divine being of light, having a human experience. You represent the connection between the third, fourth, and fifth dimensions in a beautiful juxtaposed dance of love and light, ether and earth. Remember that connection. You are always connected. You sometimes forget, but you are always connected. You are always in the presence of divine. In this moment, remembering that connection. Feeling the peace of that connection, that knowing, that deep inner knowing. In this moment, setting your intentions for today. This day of remembrance, this day of reflection, but more importantly, this day of thinking about our future and where we're going, and the directions in which we'll go. Setting peaceful intentions, intentions of awareness, consciousness, compassion, integrity, joy, friendship, camaraderie, mutual respect, tolerance, coexistence, unity, universality, a global consciousness, fed with love and light. Setting your intentions for this to be your present and your future. Feel the beauty of this intent. Take in several more deep cleansing cleansing breaths. When you're ready, come back to the room. Everybody? Sorry to have to bring you back. We'll do our deeper, longer meditation towards the end. Everybody see? Thank you, Trav. This is Trav Williams, our guest musician today. He plays his beautiful flute. So short?
No, I studied a little in college.
But they didn't teach you that.
No, it was a different type of flute. Yeah. It's a Javanese flute. This is a Native American Lakota flute.
But you just allow the music to come through you when you play.
Oh.
And that's not something that they teach you in music theory. This is our guest speaker, Aros Crystos, today. And for many of you that know already, we are having an event this afternoon between 1 and 4 that will take place right after Sunday services. You have time to just go out and grab some lunch and come back. It's a free event, and we're going to be doing a transformational ceremony. And although there will be some reflection and remembrance, more importantly, it's about how to allow ourselves to feel the higher consciousness and awaken and move forward. Because that is really what all lessons in life are about, aren't they? Is moving forward. So I thought about what to talk about today, and Aros is going to talk to us a little bit later about some of his books, his music, his life, his transformational journey, and whatever spirit guides him to share, I'm sure will come through with eloquence and perfect timing. What's that for a setup?
Wonderful. Being that I'm not the doer. Cool.
So I thought about what I wanted to talk to you about today, and of course, it's such an important day, being the 10-year anniversary. So much of our history in this country, in this global environment, has changed in 10 years since that day, hasn't it? And I was rereading the article that we published in our magazine, September 1. Have any of you read the article that Aros shared with us in the magazine? If not, get a break and take a break and read it. But I reread it this morning after I got home from a full day here at the center yesterday, and my guides, for some reason, caused me to surf the Netflix movies and documentaries and see one on 9/11. And it was a documentary that was produced in 2008. I've forgotten the name of it, but it was basically a 1.5 hour depiction of why all the things that happened that day were not as they were originally presented, and that they never found any real verifiable debris from the 2 planes in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, or at the Pentagon. And of course there's no way to verify any of the debris from the 2 planes in the Twin Tower, and all of the things that just didn't add up, and hundreds of items that just didn't add up. And so I watched that last night, and then afterwards I reread Aros's article. And the point was, of course, my guides wanted me to simply have in one hand and in the other 2 very different perspectives. One was a human perspective, chasing down, as they said in Aros's article, which I love, the hunter of duality, governed by the king of fear. And so this documentary was, of course, just looking for a different evil than the one that was originally depicted in those events. And then when you look at the article and you start seeing that they're reminding us that evil spelled backwards is live or live. So is there good and evil, or is there only to live and to be good? And as you heard me talk about in a lot of the most recent Sunday services, I remind you that we live in a safe universe. We live in a universe where there is only light. And that sometimes we experience and we have the perspective that things appear dark. But they appear only to us in dark to be our greatest teachers. And if you are a historian and you look at history books and you read accounts of things, there's always the cliche statement that history repeats itself. Well, it only repeats itself if we have failed to extract the higher lesson from the original one. And so yes, of course, we'll keep on doing things the same way. How many of us do the same thing? What was it, the sarcastic definition of insanity, doing something again so many times even when it's not working? Well, isn't war in that case a definition of insanity? We keep on doing it, we keep on doing it. Isn't really working, is it? It isn't really bringing out any desired results. It doesn't really bring peace. But what if it could? What if not the act of war itself, but the idea of the unconscious repetition of the belief in duality is what we're supposed to learn? It is the duality that keeps us separate from ourselves, from others. And duality takes so many forms: Republican, Democrat, man, woman, Catholic, Protestant, Jew, Muslim, white, black, young, old. I mean, the list goes on. You know, we have some, human, non-human, aliens. What are really aliens? Everything is. We learn by contrast. So what if exploring higher consciousness was a decision to look at things differently, a higher perspective where we learn not by duality and not by contrast, but rather by us deciding that everything is far more alike than it is different. And so if you're willing to look at things differently, and you're willing to see things from another perspective, what if we were far more similar than we were separate? I have an older sister, and my parents love to talk jovially about how different we are.